What is up, guys? This is the review of episode 3 in Marvel's Inhumans. And I gotta say that the story is finally set. We're taking off, and it's going pretty good. It's a lot better than what people were saying on the internet. It's not as good as we'd still like it to be, but it's going. We're finally going in a good direction. Let's hope it stays on this path and finishes strong. I got a feeling that it could. Let's just hope it's going the way that I think it's going. If you watch the first 2 episodes, you will know that Maximus attempted a coup and he succeeded for the most part. And most of the royal family is on Earth. Crystal and Lockjaw, Crystal and Lockjaw are still on the moon with Maximus. And Maximus is trying to convince the higher ups in society that he should be king. And he's having a difficult time with that. But he has the hearts of the general population. And he's trying to use Crystal as a pawn to get the higher ups in society to accept him as king. And she just flat out says no and takes Lockjaw, gets to Earth, and that's how the episode ends for episode 3 for her character. And I feel like she's still being very underused, and I keep saying this, but there's a lot of potential for them to use this character in a good way. And I want to see that, because she is just as important as the other ones, even though she's the youngest. There's a lot of history with her and other superhero teams in the comics, and I just wish that they could do that in the TV series. But all the rights issues and stuff like that going on, there's not much they can do as far as saying that, but it's there. And we're right there. Just push it over the edge so we can get somewhere with her character. So now Karnak hit his head, and now his powers are a little off, and his ability to see flaws in all things, because he himself doesn't have any actual powers, but he has over the years harnessed the ability to see the outcomes of different situations and what he can do. And ever since he fell off the cliff and hit his head, they've just been off. He hasn't been working right the same ever since. And he stumbles across this pot farm, ends up being held captive by these 3 pot farmers. And he's trying to work his way out, and then realizes, hey, my powers are off. I don't feel like I'm up to looking for my family. I don't feel like I can help them out anymore. So I'm just going to do the best I can. He ends up staying with the 3 pot farmers at the end of this episode as far as his character goes. And I feel like that was kind of a smart call on his character's point right now, but he just sort of just gave up on why he was there. I mean, it was his idea for everybody to get to Earth, and now he's just kind of gave up because his ability isn't working. But we'll see. I mean, there's a reason they wrote this way, and I just hope that they all tie it together well. But for right now, I feel like that's a good spot for him, because really, if his powers were working, he would see the flaw in his plan right now and just be out of there. And there would be no reason for him to stay there or to introduce these characters for no reason. And he would just go find a family and all would be well. But right now, we're in a good spot for him too, as well as Crystal. Gorgon, on the other hand, he knows who he is. He's the fighter. He's the head of the Royal Guard. All he is there to do is fight. He originally went there to find Triton, but now he's stuck on this beach with all these surfers who happen to be ex-soldiers, and he's convinced them to fight with him against Oron, who is coming to this beach to kill him. Yeah, that was a very long run-on sentence. But either way, Gorgon is Gorgon. If you want to fight in the episode, to pan over to Gorgon, and you're going to get some fighting, because that's all he knows. And I gotta say that it was the fight scene was okay. It was okay, because we're introduced to another Inhuman called Mortis, who is apparently really dangerous, and he himself is death. But to see him in action was a little weak. He didn't really do much. He showed up blew up this little cabin shack thing and got demolished basically by Gorgon. And that was it. I was a little let down by that because I was expecting to see a really great fight between Oran, Mortis, and Gorgon. And I didn't get that. I got a good fight between Gorgon and Oran, which was nice to see. But as far as the other human characters to go that they introduced, I was a little let down, but hey, we gotta focus on the royal family here. We can't introduce too many extra sub characters, otherwise it gets all confusing. And it's nice to see that there are some Inhuman sympathizers among the humans, which is good because I was getting really tired of hearing all the Inhumans being like, oh, or the humans, sorry, casting out all the Inhumans for being different. Yeah, it's a subplot in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but this isn't that show. And it is nice to see them working together, even though they didn't really accomplish much. They got beat bad, and they ended up losing one person in their group. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out with Gorgon running off with them to who knows where. Because that's how his story arc ends in this episode. He picks up a guy, takes off running the jungle, and that's the last you see of him. But that's not the last we're going to see of Oran and her group. So we'll see how that goes. If they run into any other people groups out in the jungle, why they're out in the jungle, I don't know. But cheaper to film out there, I'm assuming. Now to Medusa. I am actually really surprised with this character in this episode. They actually going back to the comics where she lost her hair twice, if I'm not mistaken. In the comics, she's lost her hair like this twice. And in this episode, they go back to her roots when she lost her hair to being very resourceful. And she's a great hand-to-hand combatant in the comics without her hair. And they kind of touch on that because she beats up a security guard to get into the prison where Black Bolt's being held. But for the most part, she is just doing whatever she can, however she can, to get to her husband. And you see her break into a house, take all these clothes. She actually looks a little more comfortable in human clothes than she did with her inhuman clothes. And I feel like she is honestly better off without her hair because it's bringing more life and realism to her character. And she basically lost an appendage. I mean, you got to think about it. She went through Terrigenesis as a teenager, and she was able to move her hair in and out in all this way, like a body part. And she basically got a body part amputated, so now she's got to rely on other sources to help her out. And I feel like that's a really good story arc for her right now, and it is working out great because you get to see what she does and has to do in order to find her husband, who is also being held captive. And she finally figured out where, and she's going to get him. And yeah, she finally finds him, and ends up running into Louise at the end of the episode. And yeah, well, I mean, we'll see where she goes from here. I actually like this side of her character so far, and I feel like they're going in a good direction with her. Keep it going that way. It'll be great. It will be great. Now, as for Black Bolt, he makes an Inhuman buddy in jail, and at the very end of the episode, they get out of jail and they ride off in a helicopter together, and that is it. That's basically all he does in this episode. He was about as underused in this episode as Crystal was, and right now, that's really all I can do with him, and I'm okay with that because it's like I said, he's so powerful. He can't do anything without overpowering every single thing. All he would have to do was talk, and there goes the problems right there. But yeah, as for right now, I want to see who took him and who took him where, and what they're gonna do. Why they're doing it. But I guess we'll have to find out in episode 4. Now, if you like this kind of stuff and this is your first time on this channel, please subscribe. I have more on the way. I have other two I have other YouTube channels. Not, oh my god, I can't talk right now. I have other YouTube videos, okay? I have other YouTube videos. Please go check them out. I hope you enjoy them. If there's stuff that you like in those other videos, let me know. And I'll be sure to make more. As for right now, this is my review series on Inhumans. It's going to be over after this season ends. Hopefully not the series, just the season. But yeah, check it out. I hope you like them. Please like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. For those of you who have subscribed, please leave comments below. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want to talk about. Questions, I have answers to. Maybe. So this is my new setup. I got some Michael Turner in the background. This is Michael Turner's work on Superman. Some of the greatest artwork you will ever see, according to my wife and my brother. Me, I actually do like his work on Superman. It's actually pretty good. I actually got some more Michael Turner up here. I don't know if you see this. His work on Submariner. Yeah. They actually used my body as a model for that cover, just so you know. No, they really didn't. But yeah, that's all. If you have any questions, like I said before, if you have any questions about anything up there or you see in the background, let me know. I really do love talking to you guys about this stuff. Yeah, I want to talk to you guys. So leave comments. I enjoy speaking with you guys. And I will see you all next time.